What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Carnell, the Tech Savvy Rider. Today's topic is a question that was given to me. It says, Carnell, what inspirational words can you give to a motorcyclist who has gone down? Talk to y'all in a minute. GoPro, start recording. A tech savvy rider implemented new technology to modify his 2015 GL 1800 Honda Goldwing. That Goldwing later became known as Black Flash, an extreme lighting show bike. Alright, YouTube, if you've been following me on my videos, I have mentioned once before, well, several times before, about my past owning Goldwings. Of course, this is my third Goldwing, and I have had 2 accidents in the past, which caused me to total out both of my Goldwings. So today's topic kind of hits me kind of hard on what inspirational words can you give to a motorcyclist that's went down on a motorcycle. And it's kind of hard for me because I'm about to tell you what I went through, and the process was not easy. The first time I had an accident on my motorcycle, I talked about it. I was in my teenage years. I was telling y'all about how a kid stood out in the middle of the street and played chicken with my Goldwing. I jumped out the Goldwing to avoid hitting that kid. I was laid out in the street, and the Goldwing went down the street, turned around, and came back and ran over me. I was in the hospital for about a week. I know y'all heard the story before, but I have to reiterate just to get to the point. I was in the hospital a week, and when I did come to, my old man said the first thing I asked was, where was my Goldwing? The second accident I had, I was in my 20s, and me and another young man was out riding, and we decided to try to race our bikes. And he ended up he having some type of clutch and brake problem, and he could not stop his bike, and he ended up running into me just so he can stop. I know at the time it was a dumb idea. You know, he basically put my life in jeopardy trying to save his own life. I look at the incident now and think about, man, that could have been the day that could have been the day for me. That could have been it. I was supposed to be 6 feet under. Now, trying to recover from both of those accidents took two processes. First process was mentally, physically. I had to actually recover from all the pain I was having from, the road rash, broken bones. And that part of the healing process is the longest, because you're waiting on medical improvement, medical doctors to tell you, you're waiting on the doctors to tell you, yeah, everything is back together, everything is normal. The second part is mentally. You got to be mentally prepared to get back on the saddle once you fall off. And nobody can give you any advice on how to prepare for that. They can give you words of encouragement. Hey, get back on the saddle when you get off, or when you fall down, jump back on the saddle. Any type of words of encouragement is what people are trying to give you, which is a good thing. But mentally being prepared for it, it's all up to that rider. If he's not mentally able to get back on that bike, don't try to force him. because he gonna end up being scared and causing misery for someone else on the road. There's nothing worse than a motorcycle rider who is too cocky on riding a motorcycle. There's only one thing worse than that, and that's a motorcycle rider who is totally scared of everything around him. Those two type of motorcycle riders don't need to be on the highway, period. Now, I can tell you this from experience. Motorcycle riders who have fallen at some point in their life during their motorcycling experience, that motorcycle has taught them a brave lesson. And that lesson is how to respect that motorcycle. I guarantee you, no one that has fallen off a motorcycle will do anything intentionally that's dumb, because he has learned a major lesson. He crashed that motorcycle and he was able to live through it. Now, for riders who have never fallen on a motorcycle, to be honest with you, they fall in the worst category of a motorcycle rider. Because one, they're either too cocky, or two, they're too scared. And that's going back to the scenario that I have given at the beginning. Those are the two worst motorcycle riders to be on the road. So a motorcycle rider that has never fallen on a motorcycle, and I do mean never fallen. And falling means you've been sitting on your motorcycle and it tipped over. You laid your motorcycle down. You know, I have actually tried to, in my mind, my motorcycle was on the side stand. I had let out the side kickstand, but I didn't. In my mind, I thought I had already put it down. So when I leaned over to put it on the side kickstand was up. So what happened next? The bike went right on over because there was no side stand to hold it up. That is considered an accident, people. So if you telling me that you haven't even experienced something as simple as tilting over a motorcycle, you have never fallen on a motorcycle, you have never wrecked a motorcycle, you have never even got your fingernail cracked on a motorcycle, then yes, your time is coming. Because, like I said, one, you're either too cocky, or two, you're too scared. So your time is coming. Now, getting back to the subject, the only motivational thing that any other rider who has experienced having an accident on a motorcycle is giving words of encouragement. And simply just remind yourself what it took for you to get back on the saddle, and then share that experience with that other rider. But the whole process, number one, that rider gotta heal physically. And two, mentally, he's gotta be prepared to get back on the saddle when he do heal. So no words of encouragement is gonna help him pass number two. He's gotta be ready for that himself. But motivational words always help. But being honest with you, if he ain't mentally ready, he ain't getting back on. I have known motorcycle riders who have wrecked in their early teens, and they didn't get back on a motorcycle until they was almost 50 years old. Some people can get right back on, some people can't. So like I said, motivational words will help, but in all actuality, it's the mind frame of that individual. Other than that, hey YouTube, just wanted to share my thoughts. And that's my spiel for the day, YouTube. Y'all have a good one. GoPro, stop recording.